What is going on, my peoples? Welcome back. Welcome back. I hope everyone is doing well today on this beautiful day, should I say. I mean, the sun is out, shining like a diamond, baby. Blessed to see another day. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope your day was fulfilled with nothing but positivity. You see what I'm saying? Nothing but positivity. If it wasn't, I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully, your boy Strac is able to make up, for the negative, whatever happened to your life that was negative or put you down in a bad mood today. I'm here to make it better, I'm here to make your day. Let's jump right into this. You see what I'm saying? Because this title actually threw me off. This was highly recommended. Before we jump right to it, shout out to Ashley Faye Vlogs. Highly recommended. Everybody feel free to check out the Twitch and Patreon in the description down below. Once again, thank you so much, all my beautiful people, for joining me today. All my new viewers, what's up? Here we go. We got reverse culture shocks returning to America after moving to Australia. Wait, okay. Returning to America after moving to Australia. All right.
So many things that just made me really uncomfortable or made me feel really out of place going back to the US that previously never was an issue, as in reverse culture shocks. So these are my reverse culture shocks of going back to the US after moving to Australia. So I am not in Hobart right now. I am in beautiful Canberra, and I will explain everything in the next video. But for right now, we're gonna chat culture shocks. I got a coffee. So this trip home, more than anything, I realized how extreme the tipping culture has gotten. So I knew that the tipping culture has become a bit more, I don't know if aggressive is the right word, over the last couple years since the pandemic. Like when I was growing up, I was told okay, if someone gives you amazing service, like table service or something like that, 10%. And then as I went into uni, with inflation and everything, went to 15 and
20.
Then post-pandemic, at least where I was from in the US, it was 20%. And leaving the US beginning of 2022, I had no qualms about it. I was like, nope, this is the norm, you tip for this. And even going back to the US, because I've been back to the US a couple times since I've moved over to Australia, and it's stood out to me a little bit, but I kind of just put off the side, I grew up used to it, so it's not that big of a deal. But I don't know what it was this time around that the tipping just felt so out of control. I've never been chased out of a bar aggressively for being told that I didn't tip enough, when in my opinion, I felt that I was receiving zero service at all. I had to go find my own glasses. I had to go find the bottle of wine. The customer gave it to me. And then a random person, I don't know if they worked at the bar, followed me and my brother across.
What type of bar did you go to? Are you sure it was a bar? What bar was that? We need to boycott that.
Street and approached us and was calling us mean names. And that's just never happened to me before. And it's really jarring going from Australian culture back to American culture, that's for sure. Another example.
See, to an Australian, though, coming out to the US for the first time, it's going to be absurd. They're going to be like, this is preposterous. I'm not paying these tipping prices. They have a custom option. When you hit custom option, it depends who you're dealing with, because not all people are crooks, But some of them give you a look like, what you mean? It starts at 15%. I haven't been to one place yet. It used to say 10%. Now it starts at 15%. You go to 20, then they go to 25, then they go to 35. They go to 40? 40%? Man, you better be out at some crazy elegant, you know what I'm saying? Elegant restaurant where it's they only serve, the elegant restaurants where they only serve the big portion type of stuff. Oh my gosh, that's why I don't be liking them elegant restaurants. They be serving mac and cheese with just lobster. I can't get it without the lobster. You know what I'm saying? It's not for me, man. It's not for Strac.
I was at the airport and it was a self-serve kiosk, and I scanned my own item. I was paying at the FPOS machine, and it was like, do you want a tip? And I'm like, but who am I tipping? I went and I got the item. I'm scanning my item. There's not even workers around to make sure if anyone had any questions or if there's technical issues. There's really no one. I'm like, who am I tipping? Am I tipping the robot? Like, I'm genuinely confused. And there's also so many like hidden service fees now in the US that I experienced and stuff. And I also want to preface, I completely understand that there are still so many industries in the US that are severely underpaid. Well, I mean, unanimously worldwide, but specifically in reference to like the service industry in the US, I completely understand. And 99% of the time, I don't have an issue tipping. But I think now it's just become so out of control and it's really overwhelming. Number two, just the service industry in general is so different. The level of service, like going off the tipping thing, on top of the increased frequency of tipping in the US, I also feel like the service has just gone down severely, like the standard of service, which again, to play devil's advocate, I understand and agree that service workers in the US very much so deserve to get paid more, but also I just feel like in Australia, the minimum service standard, as a result maybe of the increased wages comparatively, the service standards are just so much higher. Let me know if you have noticed that too, if you've been to both the US and Australia and have noticed differences in just like the service standards. Like I commented on this last time I went home to the US, and I was in, I think I was just not far from where I'm from in New Jersey, and there was like a kiosk that, it was like a self-serve kiosk at a coffee shop, and it kind of took me aback that the person behind the counter like didn't even greet me, didn't even look my way. I was just at like the self-serve kiosk and then asked for a tip, and I was like, I mean, I tipped, but I kind of felt a bit uncomfortable. I don't know, it would have just made me feel a bit more comfortable.
You do not have to tip if you don't feel comfortable.
You said hi? Or like looked up from your phone? I don't know, maybe I'm just being like really nitpicky, or maybe we're just really spoiled here in Australia with genuinely how lovely most service experiences are here. But next up.
Now, you see, look. Now, if an American goes to Australia, tongue twister, trying to tip those high prices, you know, to the waitresses and waiters, is it just one? No, that's only for actors and actresses. You guys only say actors. So there's waiters and waitresses, right? You guys, you have two references for that, right? For males and females. I guess however much you depend on tipping them, it's gonna be a crazy amount. You guys are gonna be happy, like, oof. I mean, would you guys, take it personally? Like, why are you tipping me so much? Would it be kind of, odd? Would you kind of would you try to give the money back at least if it was cash? I don't know. Like, I've had some Australians say like, you do not tip, don't tip. And then I've had some say like, if you tip me, I wouldn't really want to accept it, but I mean, it better be a few dollars, nothing crazy. And I'm like, wow, you guys are literally the opposite from Americans. Because they trying to get that dollar. The only reason they nice to you and they keep coming back trying to get refills, do this and that for you, they want a tip. Some people just cool and naturally kind-hearted. You know what I'm saying? But best believe when you got that type of job, that tip is on your mind. Oh, yeah. Because you do. But what? I mean, in the U.S., they're still getting paid 15, 16 minimum wage. That's great. But they still want them tips. They're greedy, man.
First culture shocks. Cafe culture, woo! Again, I've commented on this in the past, but the fact that in Australia it is so custom in so many cafes, the barista brings you your drink and you don't have to clean the table yourself afterwards, whereas in the US, most cafes that I've been to, it's custom that you go up and get the drink yourself, and then you bus the table yourself. There's bus bins, and some places even have like sanitizer bottles and cloths to wipe down the table yourself. And also, to preface, in the US has a tipping culture as well. So when I first posted about this, a lot of people were like, well, what are you tipping for if you're cleaning the table yourself? I'm gonna leave it open-ended. Please comment below. It's just, I don't know, I just felt like this time going home, it was really disheartening because I just feel so much more welcome and at home here in Australia, and especially as time has passed, going back home, it doesn't feel as natural and as seamless as previous times I went home. I mean, if you want to do a number 4 reverse culture shocks, drink sizes, The amount of times that I would get a coffee when I was on this fast food, and they were massive. And growing up, I had like no issues about it. I was so used to it. Even the last couple times I went home, I was so used to it. And then this time, I don't know what it was, but this is massive. I ordered a small coffee and it is like bigger than this. And I felt like I was struggling to finish the coffee most of the time.
That's
like,
what you know it's too much.
Half drinking it because the small is so massive, especially for iced drinks. Oh my god. I just feel like so spoiled here in Australia and just beyond grateful. And I'm sure there's like other reverse culture shocks that I've noticed. And I would love to just hear in the comments, like if there's anything that you've noticed, like going to the US, or if you're from the US coming to Australia, because I do find that really interesting. And you guys know me, of course I'm gonna comment about it, and I love making videos about it, but it's just like, I mean, none of these topics are revolutionary, like none of these are like prime original topics, but it just really got to me and just really caught me off guard, especially getting chased out of a bar, violently yelling and calling myself, Brady, and my brother names.
That's crazy.
Because
you and Brady should have got down, old boy. I'm talking about it's two of y'all. Yeah, 2 and 1. Yeah, because I don't even know how I would handle that situation. What you, hey, say, hold on real quick, man. Like, I'd take that to the heart. Like, wait a minute. You get mad because I ain't tip you enough? Or tip you at all because you didn't do nothing? Hold on. Like, that'd be an issue. That'd be an issue.
This person didn't think that we tipped enough. Yeah, it just makes me sad because it's
That's
like,
crazy.
I understand both sides. I'm just going back to the tipping thing. I understand both sides to an extent, working in the service industry in the US for however many years, how much it does suck to feel like you're doing so much, but getting nothing in return, like pay-wise, benefits-wise. I understand that. Obviously to an extent, because disclaimer, like everyone's situation is different.
Right.
But also, coming from Australia, I'm just like, I love when I go into a cafe and people look up and acknowledge my existence or say hello. I'm not expecting like a red carpet and someone to ask me about my life story, but I love a greeting. It makes me feel so welcome and so comfortable, and it just makes me feel heard. And I just love the experience of going to a coffee shop. You guys know me. And yeah, I don't know, I just feel like I felt like I left the US quite deflated. But
right.
I'm back in Australia. I have so much to update you guys on. Yeah, I'm still in Canberra, which is, I feel like if you've watched my content before, you're like, why is this girl in Canberra? Doesn't she live in Tasmania, or is she moving, or what's going on? And yeah, please let me know in the comments if you've realized any of these culture shocks or reverse culture shocks, if you're from the US but have moved abroad and have gone back home to visit, and things have like stood out to you now that didn't previously. And also leave me comments of questions you want me to chat about or address in more of like an updatey video. But I had this footage, apologies for the echo, from this lovely trip I went on when I was home in the States with my brother and Brady on a road trip to Vermont that I still really wanted to share. So if you want to stick around and watch that, we went to Ben & Jerry's and it was a blast. Yeah. And I appreciate you guys, and here's past Ashley.
Ben & Jerry's. Ben & Jerry's sounds good. What's that, like ice cream and stuff? Is this like a tour and everything? Is this just like a tour and everything? Oh, this is just like her trip and everything. This is just like her trip and everything. Interesting. I'm kind of scared to check it out, guys, because, you know, the copyright and everything. I think we might actually end it right here, you know? Checking out her reverse culture shocks. As an American growing up in America, moving to Australia. And then coming back and visiting America, she realized the difference. She realized how bogus, how BS this country is. I'm talking about like, wait a minute. This is extortion, you know? Let me go out to one of these other countries. Let me go to Australia and come back. I'm going to have a few words. Best believe. Why my thing go off like that? You see that flash? That was crazy. The best believe I'm going to go to Australia. I'm going to check out the prices and everything. You know, they give you small servings of food. I wonder why my stomach be hurting. Every time you have a meal anywhere in the U.S., it feels like you're full, you're bloated, and then sometimes your stomach be killing you because the ingredients plus like the big servings is ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Strac love the food, but sometimes it be like, all right. I be forcing myself to finish it because we don't waste on food. Guys, let me know in the comments, how do you feel about how many culture shocks was this? Oh, how many culture shocks was this? Was it only like maybe 5, 6 culture shocks, I believe? I remember her saying 4. I think it was like maybe 5, 6 culture shocks altogether. Let me know in the comments. If you guys enjoyed this video, checking out my fellow Americans' perspective, you know, on Australia and America, noticing the culture shocks, the differences between both of our countries, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications on. Please, if you are an American or an Australian or anybody, you know, from any other country, please feel free to share your honest thoughts and experiences when traveling to the U.S., back to your country, or to Australia where, you know, things are completely different. And how was it? Did you notice it right away? Like, I'm never going back to the States. Feel free to check out the Twitch and Patreon in the description down below. Stay safe, my peoples, and I hope to catch you all in the next reaction video.